All right, I am back. I'm in the sad part of the book, so if you see tears, I'm so sorry. But I'm going to read on about who was Princess Diana. Chapter 10, Sadness and Grief, because we just found out she was in a car accident and had died. The world was devastated by Diana's death. In her honor, mourners left 20 million pounds, 10,000 tons of flowers in front of Buckingham Palace. Show you the picture. I remember seeing that. I didn't see it in person, but I mean like on TV and in newspapers and stuff. Diana's family and friends blamed her death on the photographers who had been following Diana that night. Her brother, Charles, thought that the magazines and the newspapers that brought the photographs were also to blame because they encouraged the paparazzi to be so aggressive. The royal family mourned quietly and privately over the loss of Diana. On the night before her funeral, the Queen spoke lovingly of her former daughter-in-law. "So, what I say to you now, as your queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart," she began. "Diana was an exceptional and gifted human being, in good times and bad. She never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness." Diana's funeral was held on September 6, 1997. Her coffin was driven through the streets of London on a horse-drawn carriage. In addition to Diana's family, there were also 500 more people walking behind her coffin. Charles, her husband, Prince Charles, I should say, Prince William, Prince Harry, and her brother walked behind her carriage. These people who had suffered from illnesses such as AIDS and cancer were the ones who had been helped the most by the charities Diana supported during her lifetime. The carriage route was made even longer so that all the people who lined the streets could see it pass. More than 2.5 billion people watched the service on television. I was one of them, making it one of the most watched events in history. Diana's brother Charles began his speech at the funeral with these words: "I stand before you today, the representative of a family in grief and a country in mourning, before a world in shock." Sir Elton John, Diana's good friend, sang his song "Candle in the Wind," with special lyrics written for Diana. In one verse he sang, "You called out to our country, and you whispered to those in pain. Now you belong to heaven, and the stars spell out your name." It's kind of nice, like "Goodbye, England's rose, may you ever grow in our hearts." Kind of keeps going. It's just beautiful. Elton John. He was born in 1947. Elton John is an English singer, songwriter, composer, and pianist. He has sold more than 250 million albums and has written songs for movies and Broadway, including The Lion King. He established the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has raised over $349 million for the fight against HIV/AIDS. In 1998, Elton John was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II and became Sir Elton Hercules John. His revised song, "Candle in the Wind," 1997, which was sung at Princess Diana's funeral, is the most successful pop single in history. It has sold more than 30 million copies. Some of the most famous people in the world attended Diana's funeral, including then First Lady Hillary Clinton, director Steven Spielberg, movie stars Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks, and designer Donatella Versace. After a private ceremony at her family home, Diana was buried on an island in a lake on the Althorp estate. A path leading up to her gravesite is lined with 36 oak trees, one to mark each year of her life. I did not know that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Chapter 11, Her Royal Legacy. Today, Diana's spirit and legacy live on, especially in her children. Her eldest son, William, is married to Catherine Elizabeth Kate Middleton, who is called the Duchess of Cambridge. In 2013, the couple welcomed their first child, named George. By 2018, William and Kate had 2 more children, daughters Charlotte and their second son, named Louis. Kate didn't have a royal or even noble childhood, but her kind and gentle personality reminds many people of Diana. She does. William has said that not a day goes by that he doesn't think about his mother. Prince Harry was in the military for 10 years, serving in the Army Air Corps. In 2014, he founded the Invictus Games, an international multi-sport event for wounded veterans. I believe I've got a lot of my mother in me, Harry said, referring. Hold on, let's look at the pictures here. So this is William and Kate, and that's Prince Harry. Oh, Prince William, I should say. Referring to her history of charitable work, he has said, I want to try to carry it on to make her proud. Harry married Meghan Markle, an American-born actress, in 2018. Their son Archie was born in 2019. Diana's life didn't turn out to have the fairy tale ending she had once hoped for, but she became the people's princess, like I was talking to you about, for all the kind and generous things she accomplished. Diana had a special way of wanting to help anyone who might need her attention. It made people want to know her, to be around her, and sometimes just to see her. She was considered to be as beautiful on the inside as she was on the outside. She became an international celebrity and one of the world's most admired women. In Diana's short life, she made the world a better place. She made people understand that acts of simple kindness are what matter the most. I knew what my job was, Diana once said. It was to go out and meet the people and love them. Now we have the timelines. All right. So timeline of Princess Diana's life. Here we go. 1961, Diana Frances Spencer is born July 1st at the Park House in Norfolk, England. 1969, parents divorce. 1970, sent to boarding school at Riddlesworth Hall. 1975, Diana and her family moved to the Althorp estate in Northamptonshire, England. 1979, moves to London and begins working as a teacher and nanny. 1981, marries Charles on July 29th in the wedding of the century. 1982, first son, Prince William, is born on June 21st. 1984, second son, Prince Harry, is born on September 15th. 1987, visits the first British hospital ward for AIDS patients. 1982, Diana and Charles announced their separation on December 9th. 1996, they officially divorced on August 28th. 1997, working with the Red Cross, Diana visits the war-torn country of Angola. And Diana is killed in a car crash on August 31st. Timeline of the World, 1961. The Peace Corps, a volunteer program that helps people around the world, is founded. 1962, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth. 1963, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivers I Have a Dream speech. 1969, Neil Armstrong becomes the first man to walk on the moon. 1979, Margaret Thatcher becomes the first woman Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. 1982, the movie E.T. is released. Good movie. You should watch it. 1983, Sally Ride becomes the first American woman in space. 1985, the wreckage of the Titanic is found on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. 1990, Nelson Mandela is freed from prison. 1994, Channel Tunnel, or the Channel, opens connecting the United Kingdom and France. 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the first in the 7-book series, is published in the UK. And that is the end of the story of who was Princess Diana. I hope you guys will come back and join me for another book of who was or what was in my next videos. You guys have a great night.